And thanks for joining us. You gave it a fair crack in the chase. What was the difference, do you think, between the two sides in the end?
Yeah, we probably just missed a few key moments during the game. A couple of drop captures, missed run out for myself. I could have run out Shika with a little back flick there, but just a few little moments like that. And in a World Cup game, they can be heightened by the end of the game. But yeah, they batted extremely well, and to get themselves to 350, probably could have probably changed it up a little bit, I suppose, at the back end. But when you've got a couple in batters at the end on a good wicket, no boundaries are big enough, and they struck the ball so cleanly at the end. And it was always going to be a hard ask chasing 350. You're sort of defying, I suppose, history at the ground. But yeah, gave it a really good crack, and probably just, if we can get someone to make 100, I suppose, in that top four, it can potentially be a different game.
Hero Kohli's come out and said that he asked the crowd to give Steve Smith a bit of a break. He asked him to quieten down, and he went to Steve and he said, I apologise on behalf of the crowd who are giving you a fair bit. What do you make of that from the Indian captain?
It's lovely from him, and they were a little bit quieter today, and not as in cheering, but the boos were certainly a little bit quieter. But we expect that probably most places we're going to go, and we're prepared for it. Steve doesn't mind it. It seems to drive him. He started the tournament off beautifully. He's hitting the ball as well as I've ever seen, and just further solidifying his space as one of the best batters in the world. So it's good to see him doing well and shutting out the white noise.
The crowd in general, though, it seemed really imposing out there. Were you surprised on a neutral ground?
No. They did the same thing to us in Australia during the World Cup semi-final in 2015. There was more Indians than Australians in Australia, so it happens everywhere you go. There's Indians absolutely everywhere, and they love their cricket, and they're fanatical supporters, and obviously I had the privilege of playing against them a fair bit, and it's always a good crowd to play in front of.
Even though today was a defeat, it feels like there's still enough to be positive about the Australian camp. Is that the case?
Yeah, 100%. We still scored over 300 with the bat chasing against a world-class attack. Two of the best death bowlers going around, two of the best opening bowlers going around, and to give ourselves the chance of almost chasing it down. Just a few little key moments that we probably missed. Lost wickets at the wrong time. Run out at the top to lose your captain. Just a few little moments like that. If we can turn those around, I'm sure our fortunes will turn around as well.
Thanks, Glenn. All the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Do you like such situations in the match to going back?
Oh, it was probably not quite perfect. It would have been nice to have a few less on the board or a few less to chase. But yeah, I think the wicket was still playing pretty nicely at that stage whenever they bowled full pace. When they took the pace off the ball, it was obviously a little bit more difficult, and unfortunately lost a couple of wickets there, and I identified the spinners as probably the guys that I need to target, and knowing that Boomer and Bhuvanesh were a high quality death bowlers, and it was probably going to be hard to score off them. So unfortunately, even with the timing of the wickets, I still probably had to try and score as much as I could off Chahal, and unfortunately just got out.
Were you surprised to see David go slow at the top?
I think batters can have tough days, and I think he just had one of those days where his time was just a tiny bit off, and but yeah, he's been trying to find his rhythm, and luckily for us, he stuck it out and got us a little bit deeper. And who knows, if he had to hit that ball for six, and it could have been a different game, and he goes on to get a big score, and all of a sudden the result's a bit different.
One Australian batsman, Virat did with Growling to silence them, and Smith was getting the blues. Were you surprised, and what do you mean?
No, I'm not surprised. He's always been friendly to me and a few of the guys in our team. And, we have our tough battles on the field, and I think that's the way it should stay. We can always put up this bravado on the field, but the way that it is behind closed doors, we're all good friends. We play together in different tournaments around the world, so I'm not surprised by that at all.